Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the Venom Let There Be Carnage Venom, the retro carded Carnage, and the retro carded Walmart 85th Anniversary Venom from Marvel Legends. Now let's get to it. Here is the box for the Venom Let There Be Carnage Venom, looking really nice over here with red instead of pink on the gums and tongue. Marvel Legends series, warning, Venom, Venom Let There Be Carnage, and Hasbro. On one side we have a cool picture of Venom, and on the other side we have a box window showing Venom. On the top is the logo, and on the bottom is more legalese. And on the back is a beautiful picture of Venom and Carnage fusing, merging, whatever you want to call it, along with more legalese on the bottom, Marvel Legends series, and Venom. Now let's take a look at this Symbiote from the movies. Movie Venom's head sculpt is the same as the previous, but the colors are different. There is a blood red gum line going all across his smile there, and the eyes have little dapplings and specklings of that kind of photo print that we've come to know and love, I guess, but here it doesn't look that great to me, honestly. It's like missing parts need to be filled in. Speaking of which, I think the teeth aren't that great either. As far as paint goes, in the back of the head is just the back of the head. It's fine. Articulation is the same as the previous Venom head from the movies. It's really nicely done, but I'm not a big fan of this head, honestly. The body, I think, is a slightly different black color, and these veins here are very thin, and they look nice on this figure, actually. Nothing much really is new except for those veins on here, and they do look nice, but the rest of the figure is just reused from the previous Venom, though I think I like this body a bit more. He also comes with a pair of fists that we've seen before, with less of that veiny texture on them, as well as a head sculpt with a mismatched left eye. That's kind of a bummer on this figure, and the tongue is really red and really long, with a super noticeable seam line right over here. That's kind of a shame on this. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this red as I thought I would be, and the articulation is fine, I guess. Same old, same old. But what isn't old and is actually brand new on this figure are the two ports in the back that are designed for these Venom tendrils. I do like these, and they're really neat. The glossy texturing really brings out the symbiote in these. Each head is even a little bit different. We got ones with tongues, ones with smiles, one that are open. Yeah, they're a barrel of fun and really nice. You can't really pose them, though. You can kind of, like, maybe heat them up or cool them down and then shift them in position, but they'll probably just go back to where they're being. It's kind of a shame. They could have had swivels and hinges on these, or even a series of ball joints or something. They could have done a lot, but instead they kind of cheaped out on this. I do like this. I respect it. It's really neat and a nice little twist on Venom heads coming out of Venom, but yeah, it's just okay to me. Movie Venom stands at about 7.25 inches tall or so. Here's Movie Venom from Let There Be Carnage next to Movie Venom from the first Venom, as well as Carnage himself. They look really great together, especially Carnage. Movie 1 Venom is super heavy on that electricity kind of vein thing. I'm glad they toned it down for this one. I mean, look at the hands over here. They're night and day. And again, Movie Carnage looks amazing over here. I love all the detailed work. It's a shame the accessories had to be what they were, and they could have been better, similar to the new retro Carnage we'll be seeing. And swapping the old head onto the new body with the accessories makes it look really cool. I love this so much, and the tongue looks much better in pink. And I think I'm going to get rid of this. I'm not a fan of the red tongue, but someone may be with these big veins over here. Who knows? People like that. Now let's check out a different Carnage. Here is the box for the Marvel Legends retro Carnage with blades and stuff. I love this figure. It looks really cool. We get Spider-Man, Marvel Comics, Carnage over here with weapon arms. And on the back we have Marvel Comics Spider-Man once again with Carnage once again over here. Interchangeable arms and hands with a lot of legalese on the bottom. And a bio that reads, after integrating with the symbiote Venom's offspring, dangerous criminal Cletus Cassidy became the ruthless villain Carnage. Now let's open up this symbiote and see what's inside. I really like the head of this symbiote. The teeth we'll get to later, but I just love the sinew around this mold. It's so nicely done. The paint is really well done, and the eyes are huge and very menacing. When it comes to the teeth, though, everyone's complaining about them. They should be black, and yeah, but I think it's kind of cool for a symbiote to grow its own teeth. Very strange. I love the inside of the mouth, too. It's like a big spider web. Very neat. And articulation is the same as every other Legend. Swivel over here with a little bit of pivot here, up pretty far, down pretty far. Nice for this symbiote Carnage. The body we've seen before in a different figure, so I'm not going to bore you with any articulation. It's pretty much the same as before. There isn't really any change at all. I like this body though, and it's very neat. Great for Carnage. Carnage. He comes with your standard symbiote backpack that can peg in or peg off. You need it, don't need it, whatever works for you for this figure, I guess. I do love how all the tendrils are spiked, which is pretty neat. Gives a little more scary element to Carnage. It kind of won't go on that well sometimes. You have to really finagle it and figure it out to get it in there. Kind of a shame. But what isn't a shame are these weapons. They're incredibly cool. The axe is incredible. I love it. The lack of paint aside, it's very nicely done. The sculpting is beautiful on this piece. I just love it. And you can also swivel and articulate it down pretty far and up pretty far. A little gummy at the start, but it works its way in to become a really great weapon for Carnage. The scythe is super cool as well. This is even better sculpted, I think, than the previous. A lot of sinews going all over the blade. Very nice. And there's way more paint to cover way more area. The articulation is great too. You just have to watch out for that arm it would go into, but luckily you can move it down and up a little bit, and it's just awesome. And if you're like me and want Carnage to dual wield these weapons, they fit perfectly on his hands. They're so awesome, and there's no left or right to them, so have a ball. The only downside to this is that you'll be stuck with another Carnage, but they're easily flippable. Everyone loves Carnage. These look awesome on him, by the way. The sides are great. They can even be kind of like wings too. It's wonderful. Retro Carnage stands at about 5 3/4, 6 inches tall or so. Here he is next to the old style Carnage and the newer style Carnage, and honestly, I think I like this one the best out of the two. It combines the brighter red with the more weird sinewy portions. And I think I may just like this face a little bit more than this one. I'm not sure why. Maybe it is the teeth. Who knows? And as far as swapping the heads between these two goes, there isn't really much color discrepancy. This is slightly darker over here, and this is slightly lighter over here, but really I can't tell the difference, and I love this one much more than this one, honestly. But a changeover comes Eddie Brock right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Here is the box for Venom, the new retro version celebrating 85 years of Marvel. And on the front we have Marvel Comics Spider-Man, a picture of Venom over here, and Sinister Symbiote. And on the back we have Marvel Comics Spider-Man, another picture of Venom with interchangeable head and hands with a bunch of legalese at the bottom. And a bio that reads, when Spider-Man breaks free from an alien symbiote, it latches on a Daily Bugle reporter, Eddie Brock, who becomes a supervillain Venom seeking revenge on the web slinger. Now let's take a look and see what's inside this Sinister Symbiote. The previous Eddie Brock Venom had a head sculpt similar to this, and I do like this one very much. The color, at least, of the tongue, it's very earthworm-like, and I love how it looks. It's sculpted excellently here. The other one was way too red, and I actually sold it off. The teeth are painted really nicely. They're almost like part of him instead of actual teeth. It's very neat. And the eyes have that really nice gloss to them. They look super cool. And this head sculpting swivel all the way around, as well as goes side to side a little bit for a pivot, and then back. Not really that far. Forward pretty far, though, for this nice Venom head sculpt. This body for Venom is brand new. The arms aren't, but the whole body is really nicely done for this. The paint on the symbol is really cool, and it goes pretty far back, as well as going pretty far back over here. Very nice on that. And the articulation is great. You can go left and right and go a little bit pivot. I'm being careful not to scratch the paint or anything. This is kind of a rare figure by now. You get a crunch back and a crunch forward as well. My biggest issue with this figure is surprisingly the torso. There is a lot of gap when you even try to move it. I'm worried about chipping the paint, and honestly, I'm just not a fan of this kind of articulation for Venom. I don't know why. There's just way too many seams here. I do like the paint, but sadly, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of this. I mean, look at that gap. You could put your whole finger in it. We've seen these arms before with all the nice accoutrement it brings, all the nice articulation we have on this, and it works out super well for this figure. Very well done on these arms. The claws are really cool as well. I love these. They're very big for Venom, but I kind of like him on this body, interestingly enough. Venom also comes with a pair of fists that look really nice, but I'm not a big fan of this trapezoidal pattern. I like the rectangle more. It's much bigger and better, and these can swivel and hinge, but really, who's gonna have these when you have claws? We've seen these Venom legs before. They look really nice, and the articulation is fair at least, but they could be way better in a lot of aspects, sadly. It's just kind of a shame to me. This alternate Venom head sculpt is amazing, though. The sneer, the smile, the teeth, the paint, it's just excellent. I love the sculpting and detail. The eyes look so evil, and the back of the head is kind of bald and cool, but yeah, the front is phenomenal. I love how this kind of stretches. It's really neat. The articulation is nice too, but could be better on that looking up. Not really that great for this. And then down, really nice. You can look down at his foes, but not up. What's up with that? It reminds me a lot of this previous Venom head sculpt, and I might be retiring because this one is just so much better over here. Look at it! My personal favorite, the King in Black head, looks really nice on him, but it is a bit loose in places, sadly. It's kind of a bummer. I do love this head sculpt. It doesn't fit well in this body as it should. Swapping the head onto my Venom kit bash, I really love this now. This is great. The 3-pack body, the null hands, the retro head. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The 80th anniversary retro carded Venom stands at about 7 inches taller, so. Here he is next to the previous Eddie Brock Venom from a couple years ago, and this one still is one of my favorites. I just love it. And also here's Retro Carnage, who I've really grown a fondness for. This is a really great figure, honestly. And here they are together, all three of them. Movie Venom, Retro Venom, and Retro Carnage. I'm surprised I like Retro Carnage the best, and this one the least, with this one somewhere in the middle. Overall, one big goopy family. Let There Be Carnage Movie Venom is a nice figure and a good upgrade from the original. I love the subtleties of the figure, and the overtness of those tendrils are really nice. Sadly though, I'll be using this as a body for my other Venom heads from the previous Venom. I'm a much bigger fan of the pink than the red. Retro Carnage just might be replacing my previous Carnage as well. I love the color on this one. It's more matte than shiny. It looks really animated, and the accessories are just golden. And I love that head sculpt too. It's great. The Walmart 35th Anniversary Venom is kind of a disappointment to me. A lot of reused parts, and yeah, a new body, but really, do I need that articulation, especially when it messes up the paint? Not really. The accessories are where I'm at for this one. Not only an improved head with a pink tongue for this, but that beautiful Venom head sculpt that completely replaces all the other ones I have that are basically the same. If you're a fan of Venom, Carnage, or symbiotes in general, then you'll love these figures. They're really awesome. But I would highly recommend getting Retro Carnage for the figure and accessories, the movie Venom for the figure as well as some accessories, and the Walmart Venom for just the accessories. But make no mistake, they say it takes two to tango, but for these three, there'll be a last dance. So which figure here is your favorite? The movie Venom, the Retro Carnage, or the Retro Venom? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.